Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Hump Day. Happy Wednesday. Hey, James, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Y'all, give me a second. Y'all can come on in. I'll check my settings real quick. Make sure we are good. I hope you all have had a good day today. I've had a good day. It's been a busy week, but it's been good, with back to school happening. And I'm sure you parents are dealing with the same thing, all these to do things going on or to do list, things you have to do. Well, today is day 25. And I had an eye appointment this afternoon as well, so my eyes have been dilated. So I'm praying that, well, I've already prayed, and God has given me grace, and I pray that you give me grace as well today. Um, but today is day 25, and if you don't know me, because I've been rambling on, my name is Tiffany Newton. I'm a Master Certified Health and Life Coach, and I am a co-parent coach. Ain't that something? I just said it. I'm a co-parenting coach. So my heart is really in mental health and co-parenting. And I believe this is a space that God has called me to as He has transitioned me throughout these past few years. And I'm just going where He calls me to go, doing what He's called me to do. And I help co-parents establish and maintain healthy relationships with one another so they can raise emotionally healthy children without experiencing long term communication issues. And they can do that by using my Child First method. And we've been talking about the Child First method over the past couple of weeks in details. And it is a comprehensive approach to co parenting. And it emphasizes effective communication, collaboration, and it prioritizes the well-being of the child. And that is always going to be the focus of everything that I say, everything that I do. Our child is always going to be our focus. And you agree that that should be our focus, right? Is our child? Yeah, I think so too. So, as we have discussed this child first method, hey, thank you for joining. We have found out that CHILD is an acronym. So we've been working on that acronym. And the CHILD stands for communication, which involves partnership and collaboration, honoring the other parent's role, involvement with the child, letting go of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and determining what's best for the child together. And this week, we have really dug into letting go of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And today, we're going to continue that talk. And we're going to talk about, what every co parent should be doing every day. And I, I believe that the area of self care, it doesn't always get the attention that it needs because it's kind of looked at as a luxury and not a need. Thank you so much for joining. And self care, it really means taking care, or I should say, taking time to do things that help you live well and improve both your physical health and your mental health. And this should be done every single day. I remember when I was in therapy one day, and my therapist mentioned, you know, you have to make sure that you're prioritizing this time because it is part of self-care. And I had never thought of it like that. Of course, she asked me, why do you not look at therapy as self-care? And I told her, I said, well, I feel like I'm here for everyone else, not necessarily, or I'm here to get better for everyone else. I'm here to be a better person for everyone else. But she really help me to change my perspective as it relates to therapy and coaching, because they're very similar in nature and helping us to get better, but helping us get better for ourselves. So we're going to explore, the significance of self-care, and we're going to talk about the essentials because it directly impacts our ability to co-parent effectively. And today we'll find out why. And I know a lot of times we look at um, self-care as things that we don't necessarily, um, I don't know, I guess you could look at it as pampering, um, but I want us to look at it in a different way today because, I mean, those things can be used as self-care. Um, but in order for us to do it every day, because we're not going to get our nails and feet done every day, we're not going to get our, go to the spa every day, unless, I mean, it'll be nice to go to the spa, unless you can go to the spa every day. But these are things we're going to talk about what we need to be doing every day. And hey, how you doing, Nicole? Thank you for joining. And please, if I'm, because I just like I said, I got my eyes dilated, so I'm hoping that I'm seeing who I'm seeing come in. Charge it to my heart, okay? No, my head, and not my heart, and my eyes. Either way. So we're talking about the essential. Hey, hey, sis. I see you now. So we're talking about the essentials for self-care. And the first thing I want us to think about is reflection. You know, the the personal well-being of reflection, reflecting on our personal well-being. And we should take out this time to reflect on our own well-being and identify areas where we may feel stressed, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained. Because there's things that happen throughout the day that can cause those things to happen. And I believe this is extremely important because those parents who actually have their children every day, they might have, breaks every other weekend, but I believe it's even more important for those parents who do have children, their children, majority of the time. So taking that time to reflect on your personal well-being. And I normally find this time, this probably is something that I do every day, but I think I take longer on like once a week because it's at least one day a week that I don't have my boys. And I take out that time while I'm having a bath and I can actually sit and I could just meditate and reflect. But that is the time that I take, out of my day, and I set aside that time in order to do that. And then the next one, we need to recognize the impact on co-parenting because we are talking about co-parenting. Even though self-care should be done by everyone, our focus is on co-parenting. So I believe that at times, we can take for granted the impact that a situation has on us. The situation I'm talking about, our divorce or our breakup from our children's parent, and it can really have an impact not only on us but on them, on our child and, those who are connected to us. So at times we do not pause and just stand still long enough to process what has happened. We have to understand that our emotional state directly affects our ability to co-parent effectively. We and when we take care of ourselves, we can be more present and responsive to our child's needs. And I've really come to really understand this post divorce, because I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I had pulmonary embolism. I had blood clots in both of my lungs, and it caused me to be hospitalized a couple years ago. And it really forced me, because before that time, I had not taken out the time to really process everything that had happened. And as you all know, when we go throughout life and things like, life-changing things happen to us, we we tend to just keep going sometimes because the world keeps going. It's not like it stops. So so I just kept going. I mean, I was going to work, taking care of the kids, family, whatever. And me going into the hospital, it really forced me to stand still because I was forced to take leave from work because it became debilitating. So I look back on that time, and at the time I thought it was a curse that I was dealing with it, but I'm just so grateful to God that I took out that time to really reflect, to really think about the impact that it was having on me, because it did have a physical impact on me, because that's why I was where I was, and what it could possibly be doing to my children because of the impact even on me. So we really have to take out that time to do that. The next one I'm going to mention is identifying self-care activities. And as we're identifying self-care activities, let's think about those things that we enjoy, just us, not something that we have done with someone else, um, that we've learned to enjoy, but things that, just that we really love. And it might be something that you do by yourself. Well, it really should be something that you do by yourself, because this is your time. This is your self-care time. One thing I really enjoy doing, I know I've mentioned this before, but I really enjoy hiking. I'll go out there in nature, and I will walk as fast or as slow as I want to, smelling the smells of nature, the sense out, just taking it all in with all of my senses. But that's something that I enjoy, and I think that's part of self-care. So, of self-care. So what is it for you? Is it, um, hey Nita, how you doing? Thank you for joining. What is it for you? Is it reading? Is it going for a bike ride? I know some people, they enjoy going in the gym. Hey, hon, thank you, hon. It's a dress, actually. I appreciate it. And feel free to type in, some of the things that you enjoy for self-care, because that's something that we're focusing on, and what every co-parent should be doing every single day. And then I want you to actually create a self-care plan. I want you to actually schedule what is that time. Thank you. What is that time that you're going to set aside every single day? And it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be an hour, whatever time that you have, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, to do something just for you. And as part of taking care of, setting those boundaries, you have to set those boundaries, because if you don't, and if you don't put it on your calendar, something else will take precedence over the time that you have for self-care and what is that you actually need. And then sometimes you need to actually lean on or create a support system in order to reinforce this time of self-care. Sometimes it's times when you're a parent and you just have to get away, because not only are you being a parent, you might be working a job, um, you might be caring for a family member, you might have your own business. I mean, but every once in a while, you just have to step away, just to rejuvenate, just to refuel. So I encourage you, lean on your support system. When you need those times away, if it's an evening that you need away, you know, create that support system. Lean on them, friends, family. I talked about my therapist earlier. Lean on your therapist during challenging times that you might have, and and even just not the challenging times, but just just regular times that you have. Because when you actually make self-care a priority, um, you actually schedule the time that you need for your self-care. It will it will be so beneficial to you, and you won't feel so overwhelmed to the point where you're hitting a brick wall, or you've hit your limit. Because I know I felt like that before. So let's real quickly, let's talk about why self-care, and why should I do it every day. I think by us understanding the significance of self-care and actively incorporating that into our lives, we can become more emotionally resilient. um, we can I know it increases patience, because I've noticed that for myself. um, and we can just be better equipped to navigate our co-parenting journey. And I believe that we all want this, to be at peace, in this journey, not just co-parent, but life as a whole. And let's dispel the myth that self-care is selfish, because it's not. Self-care is not selfish, because it is crucial to us being an effective and present parent. So, and I mean, the main person that's going to benefit from this is our child. Apart from us, it's going to be our child. So let's look at a few benefits of actually doing daily self-care. Reduce stress. Reduce stress. I mean, because it helps us to manage our stress. It helps prevent burnout. Allows us to handle challenging situations much easier, because it's a daily practice. And remember, I was talking about how, when things are new, we have to practice. We have to build that muscle. And it's okay if we miss a day. We give ourselves grace, but we start the routine. It's about starting. So, improved emotional health. I can definitely identify with that. Because if you deal with anxiety and depression, I mean, this is crucial to you continue to move forward. And I would say, if you do deal with those things, you have to make more of a conscientious effort to fight through those negative emotions that you're feeling. Because if you don't, you will constantly be in a cycle, you know, and I know this firsthand. So, also improve parenting skills, because everything that you're doing is going to help you to be a better parent, because you're going to be full yourself. You're going to be nourished yourself. Better communication, because you are more patient. You are having a release every day. You're actually focusing on yourself every day. You're prioritizing yourself every day. So you're able to, empathize more with the other parent. And it definitely leads to more healthy interactions. Also, it's a good positive role model for your child. I mean, they see how you're taking care of yourself, and they learn how to take care of themselves, and then you're able to encourage them to do the same. Um, I think one last thing, I definitely mentioned improved physical health. That's something that I've experienced in my life too. Just being able to um, take care of myself on a regular basis, and even when your part of your self-care is physical, just imagine the health benefits, that encompasses. So, um, so I believe by prioritizing your well-being. Hey, thanks, Ralph. Thank you for joining. Um, co-parents, we can create a positive and supportive environment for our children because we are fostering emotional health, and we're overall happy because we are focusing on ourselves. So, so what is it that every co-parent should do every day? I talked about it the whole time. Self-care. Self-care. There was a quote that I wanted to um that I heard, part of my self-care is podcasts. I enjoy listening to podcasts. And I heard um Dr. Robin Smith, she's a psychiatrist. She quoted something that her parents used to tell her growing up. And I wanted to mention this to you because it has a lot to do with self-care. She said her parents used to tell her to be quiet long enough to hear God's voice so that you can find your own. Be quiet enough to hear God's voice so that you can find your own. So it's those times of self care, those times of being still, that we not only can hear God's voice, but we can not only hear God's voice, but find our own. Find that self-awareness, find what it is that find our purpose, find what it is that we're looking for and that we're stuck in, because sometimes we feel stuck in life. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this live today, and I definitely appreciate you joining and interacting with me as well. Please, give me some butterflies if you enjoyed this live today, and if you've gotten anything out of it, feel free to let me know what you plan to do for self-care. I would love to hear about it. And please feel free. If you don't follow me on Instagram. I am Tiffany D. Newton on Instagram. I'm Tiffany D. Newton on Facebook. And check out our Teach Me Tribe as well. It's a group of men and women. We are in a non-judgmental, safe space environment where we talk about anything and everything. And also check us out on YouTube as well. We have a YouTube page or YouTube channel on Facebook. Why do I keep saying on Facebook? A YouTube channel where you can follow the Teach Me Tribe there. So again, I appreciate you all joining. And I guess I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a very special day. So look out for an announcement. Okay. So until then, I will see you tomorrow.